and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. I am riding instructor, physiotherapist and animal physiotherapist specializing in horses and riders. And in this video we are talking about bouncing in trot or canter. And I think this is a big challenge for many riders, and I hope I can maybe give you some tips on how to be able to move with your horse better. So we will discuss why do we bounce, and then I will give you some tips on how to bounce less. But first, let's make a little demo. So this, what I think is what happens when we bounce. So this is the horse and this is the rider. So we should be going with the horse in the same rhythm. So we'll go up and then we'll go down. And when we start to bounce, I think what happens is this. The horse takes the rider up like this, and then the horse starts to go down, but the rider is kind of left behind in the air. And then when the horse is going down, the rider is still here. Rider starts coming down and the horse is already going back up, and then this happens. So that's why we bounce. And it's really about the rider not being able to come back down with the horse. And this is the first tip I'm going to give you, and what really helps me when I'm riding sitting trot or canter. And this is all about our core muscles. So when we're going up, and now when we're reversing the movement and going back down, I think this is really that point where we need to use our core muscles to be able to kind of, I think that I'm kind of sucking myself down towards the saddle a little bit, or pushing myself down a little bit when the horse starts to go down, so I can go down with it and not stay left behind. And I don't know if that sounds really weird. I don't mean really sitting very heavy in the saddle, because we still need to carry ourselves and be light. But it really helps me to think that with my core muscles, I'm a little bit pushing myself down when the horse starts to go down. So that's something you can try. Why do we bounce? Because there can be many reasons and we are all different. So actually one tip is to find a good instructor. Maybe an instructor that's also a physiotherapist, because I know there are quite many of us already, because a physiotherapist really understands the rider's body as well and how it functions. Or then you could just find somebody that's just really specialized in helping riders with their seat. So then you can get advice that's really for you, because I can only give just general advice, but I still hope that these tips are helpful. But one of the reasons when that bouncing happens is also tension. And I think this is really one of the most common things. So when we're really tense, we really can't be supple and follow the horse's movement in a good way, and that's why we start to bounce, and then we're like this really tense and cannot move with the horse. And of course, when you're very tense, or if the horse is very tense, probably it's good not to do the sitting trot, for example, or maybe if you're doing canter, then maybe do it in a light seat if the horse is very tense. And then when the horse is more relaxed, it might be easier. So that's my first tip. No, it wasn't the first tip, but anyway, the tension is really a big reason why we bounce. Another thing that might cause the bouncing is that might not have the right technique on how to follow the horse's movement in trot or canter. And that's where the good instructor really comes in. And I will also make some more videos, especially about sitting trot and canter, where I will give you more tips on how to improve that. So then, another thing that might cause the bouncing or make it worse is the lack of mobility, especially around your pelvis and your hips, because that's the area where we need the most, where we have to move the most to be able to follow the horse's movement. And then, of course, our core. I have noticed that especially when riding a horse with very big movement, it really helps to have my core in good condition. I'm actually quite hypermobile, and if I don't have enough strength in my core, in sitting trot, it sometimes it really goes like this. I'm like a spaghetti. And when I have worked on my core control and core strength, it has made such a big difference in my riding. It's so much easier to just sit there and not really think about using my core, because when I don't have enough strength in my core and then I'm really trying to use my core muscles, it really makes myself really tense, and then I'm really like this, and I'm just trying to keep everything under control. But when my muscles are strong enough, I really don't have to think about it as much, and I'm not tense. They're just working by themselves, and I really don't have to think about it. So that's just something that I have noticed, and that has made a big difference for me. And now the best tip of all. I know I will come back to this over and over again, but that is to breathe. Remember to breathe, because that just always helps to be able to relax and to follow the horse's movement better. Quite often we are holding our breath, especially when something feels difficult or we are tense. Then we are really not breathing properly, or we are breathing very shallow, in a shallow way, just up here in our chest. And it helps many of my students and also myself if I really breathe slowly, and also think about breathing really low. It's a good mental image to think about breathing way into your pelvis or even in your feet. You can't actually do that because our lungs are not there, but it might really help to deepen your seat and make you more supple and make it easier to follow the horse's movement. So I will make another video where I will show some exercises that you can do on the horse. We're not gonna go into that in this video because this is gonna be way too long otherwise. So to sum everything up, first, remember to breathe. Second, work on your mobility, especially around your pelvis and hip joints. Third one is to work on your core control and core strength. And then last tip, to find a good trainer that can help you and give you some individual advice. So now, another video is coming about those exercises you can do on the horse as well. If you have any comments, please put them down below. Remember to like this video and remember to subscribe, because I have so much more to come and I have so many ideas. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, just put them down in the comments as well. But for now, bye, and I'll see you next time.